All right, I'm live. Very cool. And I'm aware that I'm a little bit late to my own promised time here. So let me just sort of get things organized here. And I will jump in and I will start sharing nuggets with you guys. Okay, let's see here. Okay, just 1 second. Hey, everybody, I'm live in the free group now with my breakdown of what I learned in my first 100 days. Okay, so I was actually doing a little bit of meditation prior to this, and my alarm didn't go off to get me here in time. So I wish I had a better excuse for why I'm late, but I don't. It's a pretty lame excuse. You do have my apologies, though. And yeah, so as promised, I'm going to share with you guys what 100 days of growing a Facebook group specifically and deliberately as a business growth tool has taught me. And again, normally I tend to share with you guys valuable information, kind of the wins. I want to encourage and inspire you. Well, today I'm going to hopefully do those things too, but I'm also going to be very honest with you about some of the challenges and struggles. And I don't think they're going to be what you expect in some cases. Oh, so let's see. If you're here, can you see me? First of all, because I'm using StreamYard, and Facebook has had trouble integrating with StreamYard in the last couple of days. And so I want to make sure if you could just acknowledge. I see that some of you, it looks like, have shown up, but I'd like you to say hi or send some emojis up or something so that I know you're here. Because again, Facebook kind of dropped two of my live streams a couple days ago. And then I started to get messages from StreamYard saying, hey, looks like there's been a problem. Mary can see me. Good, good, good. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like it's working. So that's good. Big Bobby. Big bad Bobby. So I've been building my personal brand for 5 or 6 years now, I guess, since about the end of 2015. I've been on Facebook. I've been working to establish myself. And I tried a lot of things. I tried a podcast. It helped. The thing about podcasts that you have to understand is unless someone has cracked the code with them, that they're a very long-term thing. In other words, podcasts typically don't tend to be profitable right away. They do build your authority, but it happens over time. So it's a process. That's the thing I wanted to, I didn't really understand or have the patience for with a podcast. So then I did several other things. I did some early, sorry, I just have to blow my nose here, which is maybe not the most suave thing I could do. Okay. I did some early, possibly too early, depending on how you look at it, attempts at joint ventures and collaborating with other people. Some of it, most of it was a complete waste of my time. Most of it was, I would have been better off not doing it. And then there was one notable exception where partnering with this guy named Justin, he had more social proof than I did. He had more credibility. He had a better developed personal brand than me. And so it wound up first being very beneficial that people saw he and I as collaborating together and as partners. And if you were at the Focus Challenge, and I talked about utilizing strategic leverage, if you remember that, then you will remember me talking about how when you try to do strategic partnerships, it tends to be this spiral. And in the beginning, they're probably not going to be very good. Well, this one with Justin did some good things for me socially, and then it also caused me some problems socially because Justin was very good friends with an influencer who has, to say the least, a dicey reputation. Some people love the guy, but many, many people hate him. And there are these horror stories about him behind the scenes. And so for easily 3 years after Justin and my partnership kind of terminated, I would have people asking me, so are you still working with Justin? Are you and Justin still in business together? And if I said no, without exception, they said, oh, okay, well, in that case, I'll talk to you, right? So it's just interesting stuff. I tried a lot of things. That's my point here. I tried a lot of different things to get business going. Okay, so there was the podcast. There were strategic partnerships. I tried doing webinars long before I had enough money. So here's the thing about webinars. You either already need a really big audience and you have to have a lot of credibility with them, or you need money, 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 because a webinar is just a conversion mechanism that sits at the end of a funnel, right? And so the webinar's success or failure will depend on how many people come through that funnel, sign up for that webinar, stay till the end, buy from you, etc. And that's a long and sophisticated and involved process. And so then I started really cracking the code on just the organic stuff, which is what I share with you guys here. It was just the organic stuff. I got really mad is what happened. I was like frustrated with all of these sort of very, very low value efforts that I had put together or that I had made. Low success rate, we'll call it. Low success rate efforts that I had tried. And so when I come to you and I say that I've pretty much tried everything, I've pretty much tried everything. If you haven't done this already, you can Google my name and you will see literally hundreds of podcast interviews with me and from me. You will see me all over Google. Like I absolutely dominate at a minimum the first 10 pages of Google. That's a good thing. But in my case, the reason it is that it happened is because I tried so many things to get traction. Does that make sense? I tried so many things to get traction, only to find that most of them just added a little tiny bit of credibility. So there were these huge efforts that did help, but added just a little bit of credibility, just a little bit of trust, just you see what I'm saying? Like they were each like one brick in a long, long wall. And if you can imagine, it takes a long time to build a long wall, right? So another thing that I talk about with the people in the Wolf Pack sometimes, and in case you don't know, the Wolf Pack is my monthly membership where you can pay monthly to learn high-level organic marketing secrets. So one of the things that, what was I saying? One of the things that I talk about with the people in the Wolf Pack is that this is not my first Facebook group. Far from it. Far, far from it. In fact, this is very likely my 10th or 12th or 15th Facebook group. And there's a significant difference to this one. The first part of that difference is I went all in with this one. Let me backtrack and tell you a couple of other things that I tried. I tried doing a 3-day event. I did a 3-day event in 2017. That was fun. It was educational. I also lost my ass, but not because of the reasons you might think. I lost my ass because I got conned by a lady who promised that she would deliver sponsors. and she never did. I tried, I had a couple of successful workshops, a handful of successful workshops. Those were fun. So I tried everything. I did challenges. I did master classes, like everything there is out there that drives people to you, helps you earn their trust, and then has them buy from you. I have tried. There is nothing out there I haven't tried. Summits, did a summit, everything you can think of. And so all of those got me to a certain point. And then I really went all in and got serious about a Facebook group. After years and years and years of reputation building and years of, stacking little tiny things together to finally build credibility, I got serious about the Facebook group. And I took a different approach to the Facebook group. Most of you who are here because you saw an ad, and that ad took you through a process before you joined the group. Most people, when they teach you how to do Facebook groups, what they teach you is how to fill your Facebook group organically. There are a couple of huge drawbacks to the organic approach. This is something I learned. One is you'll get too many people that just join the group to be nice, right? Your friends, people that don't really have an interest, people that will never engage. And most of us are in dozens, if not hundreds, of Facebook groups. And so if you go the organic route, what will happen is you'll put a tremendous amount of labor up front, because to get people to join organically, you have to ask them, you have to go to other places, and you have to create and post interesting content that leads people back to your profile, wherein they see an invitation to join your group, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's a really, really labor intensive process. The last group I had, the biggest group I had before this got to 1,300 people, and it took a year and a half. Think about that. This group is almost at 1,700 people now, and it took 100 days. You see the difference? And so I got really serious about it. You guys hear me banging on all the time about getting serious, doing the work, not expecting, like the unicorn miracle answer to your problems and stuff like that. You guys hear me talking about that all the time. I can't stress that enough. You've got to think of it that way. Let's get a little engagement going here. So who all here? Let's have a roll call. Who's all here? Say hi. And then give me some blue thumbs up emojis across the screen. Shannon, Robert, Bobby, Mary. Who else do we have? Let's get a little engagement going, guys. Chop, chop, pip, pip, toot sweet. Let's do this. Give me some blue thumbs up emojis if you understand that everything I've tried so far up until this Facebook group was very, very slow for me. Okay, there's one. I'm actually looking for a whole bunch, you guys. Hannah, welcome aboard. Hi, Hannah. I'm looking for a whole bunch of emojis. I'm not looking for just one at a time. You can see how I'm doing it, right? That's what I'm after. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Hannah. I'm looking for just tons and tons of emojis floating across the screen. Hey, Jane, how's it going? So, Thanks for actually jumping out of the shadows, you guys, and saying hi. Appreciate that. And just a reminder, when I do these live streams, your engagement really helps. It doesn't just help me, but it helps the algorithm. It helps the rest of the people in the group to know, because the more, okay, Shannon, fair enough. The more engagement we give, the more Facebook sends this as valuable to other people in the group, right? So lots of engagement, please. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, guys. So after, again, literally probably 15 failed attempts at groups, easily 10, if not 15, somewhere between 10 and 15. A lot of failed attempts because I tried it the same way every time. I'd pick a theme, I'd open the group, I'd invite some friends, and I get totally burned out with the massive organic content strategy you have to apply in order to get people to come to your group. Plus, everybody's doing the organic strategy for group growth. So you see everybody going into other groups and posting, and like we're all vying for the same audience. Well, I took a big chance because if you've known me for any amount of time, you know that I'm very distrustful of Facebook ads. I'm extremely distrustful of them. And that's because I've had so many bad experiences. I went all in and I said, I'm gonna run ads. I'm gonna try and fill this group using Facebook ads. And I started like, let's keep the budget very low, right? Just so I didn't gamble anything I couldn't afford to lose, right? Month one, I think I set the budget at $2,000 month one, but I don't think we spent more than between $900 and $1,100. Reason being, my guy, who many of you know, Rob, who handles the ads for me, is extremely meticulous. And he said, let's just start small. Let's just scale up incrementally. We'll test audiences. He's very, very thorough. And so, you know, I want you to take away from this that month one, we might have spent $1,100 on ads, you know, possibly a little bit more. But here's what's cool. In the first month, before I even knew I was going to launch the membership group, in month one, we spent, let's call it $1,100 on ads and literally made over $11,000 that month. So think about that. You've got proof of a guy who spent $1,100 and brought back over $11,000, right? Month two, we spent about $2,500 on ads, and we brought back over $18,000. 2,500 over 18,000. I want you to think of it this way: put $1,100 in, get $11,000 out. Put $2,500 in, get $18,000 out. In month three, we spent about $3,500 on ads, and month three wound up being right around $30,000. Actually a little bit more. And the reason that it's hard for me to calculate this is because not all of the earnings come through my merchant account. I get some people who insist on paying with Stripe, ACH, things like that, Venmo, Zelle. And so there's some outliers that tend to add up to about 10 or 15% of the monthly income. So it's probably closer to 32,000 for month three. And then in the last 10 days, because we're talking about the 100-day mark here, another 14,000 or something, right? And so here's what I want you to take from that. These are not astronomical numbers, but here's what's exciting. We now have 100 days of data in the group that shows if we put $1 amount in, we get a bigger dollar amount back. And it scales as we add more, right? Do you see the power of that? If you guys see the power of that, I'd like you to acknowledge it. I'd like you to put some thumbs ups or answer the question or, you know, say something. But I really want you guys to get this. I want you to get this, that I figured out a way. You know, it's not like I thought of some new thing. But I'm a guy who's made it work, you know, and that's what I want you to understand. Robert says, well, you selling services or products? I assume, Bobby, that your question is, were you selling services or products? I assume that's your question. And for me, I sell information, right? I just package it different ways, and there are different tiers of it, and I sell information. So that's what I do. But here's the cool thing. Because of the membership aspect, by the end of month one, I was making more just in the recurring revenue of the membership than the spend for ads, than my ad budget. So my marketing budget was completely covered by the membership, and it has been ever since. right? So the more people I bring into the membership, the more I can spend on ads without anything really leaving, my bank account. And you understand what I mean? Of course it leaves, but it's like not out of pocket. It's from earnings. And so we've got, I think, over 100 people in the membership now. I don't know. I should count better. I should look closer. But we've got over 100 people, I think, which is somewhere around $6,700 a month just in recurring revenue. Just in recurring, okay, this is coming in. And then I add people every month to the membership. And so the recurring gets bigger. I basically just take that recurring dollar amount and I tell my team, spend this on ads, right? And so it grows every month. And what's exciting is so does the profit every single month. What I want you to take from this is that that's a system right there. You see what I'm saying about this? Like I started to earn not just income, but recurring income. I allocated that to the budget for marketing. And now as the recurring income grows, so does the profit, but so does the number of people in the group. As the number of people in the group grows, the membership group naturally grows as well. So as the free group grows, the membership group grows. As the membership group grows, I can spend more money growing the free group. And what did I just say? As the free group grows, so does the membership. So do you see how I've created a virtuous cycle there? In a sense, it's not fully automatic, but in a sense, it's like there's an automatic growth trajectory built in. But here's the cool part. I have higher level services, higher level offers, higher level things that I sell. The more people are in my world and the more who have paid me, the easier it is to offer them next levels of service and value and to charge them for that and to have them pay gladly. So as you could tell, the money that I make off the membership is a small part of the overall profit that I'm bringing in, or the net profit, I guess. So I can project, having seen that month 1 was about 11, month 2 was about 18, month 3 was about 30. We're playing with roughly an additional $10,000 month over month, give or take, right? If you average it out over that 100 days, it's looking like every month is about 10,000 more than the month before. So let's take away any sort of optimization or any way where we grow geometrically, which is what our goal is, and just look at, let's say we keep the ad budget at $6,000 a month for ads. The paid group will still grow, the free group will still grow, and the ability to offer higher level products and services to more people will still grow. And so if we project this out till December, this is really cool. At a rate of only 10,000 more a month than the month before. Forget doubling, right? And doubling is not out of the realm of possibility. Forget about even doubling income. Let's just say it grows at $10,000 more each month than the month before. By December, that's $120,000 a month. You always hear me banging on about playing the long game, don't you? Do you now see what I'm talking about? So at the most modest growth rate, right? $10,000 more dollars every month than the month before. And the bigger the volume for the month gets, the smaller percentage of that 10,000 is, right? So when it's up to 60,000 for the month, 10,000 is small. When it's up to 90,000 for the month, 10,000 is much smaller. And there's no reason to believe that we can't keep a percentage increase month over month. So I'm just talking about adding 10,000 more each month. And by December, I'll be having $120,000 months. My annual revenue will be somewhere around $780,000. This is what I want you to understand. Now, let's talk about the other things that have happened. My authority has increased, but people have watched me grow a membership group. People have seen the responses in the membership group. So not only has my authority increased, but it's actually changed, because now people are coming to me saying, help me build a membership group. That's a very high level service. Currently, that service is $12,500 plus an additional monthly cost to have my team manage the content and the ads, right? And so as we get better and better at providing that service, we can provide it to more and more people. As the group grows and the membership group grows and my awareness grows in people's minds and my authority grows, more and more people will be coming to me saying, this is what we want. We want you to build us a group. We want you to handle it, your team, here you go. So do you see how powerful that is? Like just a couple of those a month is $25,000 extra a month, right? Additionally to all of that, I have penned a deal with a friend and colleague who is having me, he's built a group already of nearly 50,000 people. So he built a group of nearly 50,000 people. Hannah, send me a private message, please, and I will answer that question for you. Okay? Send me a private message and we can talk about that. I'm going to go into his group of 50,000 people and set up recurring revenue monetization strategies for him. And what I did was I said, okay, instead of just charging you for it, I'm going to charge you less. I'm going to charge you just a small retainer and I'll take a percentage of profits. And then once we've got the initial revenue set up, we'll revisit to see if we want to continue partnering. So if we work together, then I will have, I'll be the chief marketing officer for his company and his group of 50,000 people, almost 50,000 people. Do you see how all the opportunity has come just geometrically here and from unexpected places? This is the power. All of this of really taking a Facebook group seriously versus just focusing on your profile and your page. Now, you hear me talking about profile and page all the time. And I've been waiting to do this live stream here because I still think that for many people, profile and page is something you need to master. But I also wanted to wait until I had enough experience and time in this process of having a group before I came out and said, okay, I know I've been talking about organic and profile and page for years now, but this is the new thing. But now I'm prepared to say to you, this is the new thing. This is the thing for people who even have a modest ad budget. This is the new thing that I think is the most powerful way to get your business profitable. This is this Facebook group model that I'm using, that I've taught several people already, that I'm doing for other people, and that I'm collabing on with another person, is the most powerful methodology I've ever seen. That's the good news. Let's talk about some of the bad news, as promised. So some of the bad news, if you could even call it bad, because I want you to understand something. Bad news doesn't seem so bad when you have a lot of profit coming in. I really want that to sink in, right? When you are living client to client and you don't know where the money's coming from, bad news is devastating. And I just gave you guys an example of this with my poor little puppy, right? Had he, for those of you that saw the post, had he broken his little paw 5 years ago, it would have been really, really brutal for us. It's brutal as it is because, you know, you love the animals and to see them hurt is awful. But we didn't have to compound that with, oh my God, how are we going to pay for him to be okay? You hear me talking a lot about the logical fallacy of people who don't value money. People who buy into this idea that money's not that important. Let's be crystal clear here. There's nothing that takes the place of money in the arena where money operates. And money is opportunity, money is choice, money is experiences, and money is security. You need to look at it this way. Also, get this. You will never find, ever find major positive impact without money attached to it. Never. You'll never find significant positive impact in the world without money attached to it. Unless you want to get fussy and make an argument that if I change one person's life, that's a significant positive impact. Sure, on a technicality, but most of us dream bigger than that. So I really want to hammer home how amazing it was to just be like, oh, okay, it's $4,000 for the orthopedic surgeon. Done. Got it. Don't worry about it. You know, our little guy is going to be okay. And we don't have to stress on it. Yeah. Okay. So some of the challenges, now that I feel like I've really set the stage here for you, I really want you to understand the power of a Facebook group, run the way I'm running mine. Here are some of the unexpected challenges. I am not the kind of person who, without a lot of struggle, can chart my days and weeks ahead of time. I've gotten myself to the point where if it's on my calendar, it's gospel, right? But, oh, by the way, if you're liking what I'm saying so far, let's have some emojis across the screen. Give me some love, people. If you're resonating with what I'm saying, if this is making sense to you, please cast some hearts or thumbs ups, or yeah, I don't care what emojis you cast across the screen, but yeah, good. I'm seeing, okay, good. I'm really glad this is connecting with you guys because of all the emojis there. And from the bottom of my heart, like, I want all of you guys to have success. If you've been, hey, Allison, if you've been in the wolf pack, you know that, like, I want it for you. And in some cases, I want it more than the people want it themselves. And that's sort of one of those things that's both a gift and a curse in my personality and my makeup. I want it for you really bad, right? I really want you guys to be able to know what it feels like to really make an impact of service with whatever it is you do, right? And so I get a little overzealous sometimes, or at least inside of me I do. I don't know if it always comes out, but inside of me, like, I'm just like wanting it for you guys so bad. And from that vantage point, I'm telling you that the Facebook group, Run the Way I'm Running Mine, is hands down the most powerful positioning, brand building, client acquisition, business tool I've seen yet. Hands down the best. Okay, so challenges. We're still on challenges. I am now being currently by the success that I'm creating, I'm being forced to learn how to discipline myself to manage my time better. Some of you will go, that's not that big of a challenge, Manny. And those people are the ones who really don't know what it's like to struggle with time management. Because it is a challenge, let me tell you. I have, like, my mind blanks out on me. It's like I find every reason in the world to procrastinate on it. I like being creative. I like getting results. I like the work I do. I like all of it. But there's just something in me that just is not sort of simpatico with rigid time management. It's just always been a struggle. Jane says, I hear you. Yeah, totally. It's always been something that has just been like, it's hard. So that's one challenge, is I am being called by my own success now to step my game up with time management and discipline. And that's something that's always been, I prefer to be the visionary creator, the avant-garde maverick who just sort of lives out in the ethers and you know gives interesting creative directives to my team who executes, but they can't work that way as things get more and more sophisticated and as I take on more and more. Right? So we need discipline, we need structure. And that's hard for me. So another interesting challenge, and this is going to be like, unfortunately, this is going to sound like a humble brag because it sort of is. But another challenge is there's so much opportunity right now that I have to be careful how much of it I take. And let's be clear, when I say opportunity, I'm also talking about money, right? And so there's a tendency among, I'd say, most humans to just want to grab as much as you can while it's there, make hay while the sun shines, right? And I'm finding that I need to be very disciplined. There's the discipline word again, about what deals I say yes to. Because one of the things that's a high value of mine is not overcommitting to the point where I wind up under delivering. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really important to me to deliver what I promise at a high level. Thank you, Allison. I thought that was going to be a really good humble brag. It's like, oh, poor me. I have so many. It's like, oh, every girl in school wants to go to the dance with me. I don't know what to do. Right? That's the humble brag. And Shannon says, hay grows better with a little time and rain mixed in. Yeah, totally. So there's this tendency to need to come back to that other thing about discipline, which is a struggle for me. I have no qualms telling you that it's a struggle for me. But let's face it, these are luxury problems compared to what if I wasn't able to pay for my little dog to get exactly what he needed? Can you imagine? I mean, it's just, what if some other thing happened, and God, it's just a luxury problem compared to those kind of problems. I want each of you to know what it's like to have positive cash flow and to know that you have a system built where the more work you put into it, the more it pays you, rather than these systems where if you keep putting work in, it might start paying or it spits out a little bit of money here and there. I just want that for you guys so bad. Shannon says I would go fund his little paw. And I might have done that, but I don't have to, thank God. And this, just in case anybody here doesn't know, I come from dirt poor, abject poverty. I came from wearing homemade, hand-me-down, unisex clothes because the cult that I was born in, we didn't believe in buying new clothes. I mean, we really didn't even believe in going to the thrift store to buy clothes. And so it was like there was this pool of clothing, and as the children became a certain size, they would wear that clothing. And then as they outgrew it, the clothes would just go to the next kid. It was beyond humiliating. It was beyond mortifying. And Shannon says food was a luxury item growing up. Hannah says, sounds like where I came from. Yeah, it was beyond humiliating and mortifying, and I had to fight all the time because of it. It's so funny to me now to see people being vegetarian and vegan and having society embrace them. I got my ass kicked for growing up vegetarian. And I kicked a lot of other kids' asses because they would mock me ruthlessly for it. So it's funny how times change, And so when I tell you what it feels like to not have to worry about little Poochie, Arlo is his name, this comes from a place of like, I know what it feels like to be stuck in place because of lack of resources. Right? I know what that feels like. I'm not in any way out of touch with that. So just want to put that out there. I just want you guys to understand a little bit of the background here. I know what broke feels like. I really do. I know what broke feels like. And not broke beats it 10 out of 10 times. It beats it 10 times out of 10. There's no problem you can ever have where having money won't make it better. Unless all the money is like in coins laying on top of your chest or something. I don't know. Whatever. You get my point. So look, first 100 days of this group has been phenomenal. And let me give a shout out to I honestly don't know how I even did this. I'm not even sure I did this. Maybe I did. But the community inside the membership group, that's the unexpected best benefit, best positive consequence that I've created. There's no money to that part of it. That's not a money thing. But the people in the wolf pack, oh my God, like you guys, you welcome new people in, you make them feel at home. People show up for the calls. They're enthusiastic. They're doing the work. They're reporting how excited they are to be going through these changes. And I don't know how that happened, but I'm so profoundly grateful for that. I want to read what Shannon wrote here. I think this is why you resonate so well with so many people. You're not the guy that grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. That's for sure. Telling the rest of us it's all our fault for being poor. Yeah, no, I was indoctrinated into what was called poverty consciousness. I was indoctrinated into that shit. I was sold the belief that there's nobility in not having any money. It's fucking insanity. Let's be very clear about that. That is the biggest destructive lie that is told in our society of all the destructive lies. It is the biggest one. This idea that somehow it's noble not to have money be part of your pursuit. Just insane. Thank you, Robert. I have an idea, actually. Here's how bad I want you guys to be able to experience something akin to what I'm experiencing with this group, right? And the way that it's propelled my business and my brand and my security and everything forward. What if I was to take the group training, which currently costs $2,500, and make it a membership as well? I'm curious about that. I sort of floated this into the wolf pack one time and I got some positive response. But I would like to make it a membership so that everyone could afford the training. Would you guys be interested in that? Would you be interested in having the advanced training on how to build your own group the way I've built mine as a membership so that you don't have to pay $2,500 for it? You pay X amount each month and you get all the training, all the access. You get my team of experts helping you. That's very cool to me. That's very intriguing. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in learning more about, so we got a big yes. Hannah says yes right off the bat. Okay, cool. Rachel says yes right off the bat. Let's talk about that. I'm going to do it. It's just down to figuring out the specifics, but I'm going to do it. So Hannah and Rachel, I'll reach out to you guys. I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk, of course, to the rest of the wolf pack about it. And you guys here on Rachel already messaged me. I love it. The rest of you that are just in the free group, if this sounds good to you, somebody just said perhaps, Robert. Well, Robert, we can have a chat about that. I hear and acknowledge your concerns, but let's have a chat about that. Let's see if it's something that we can make it fit and feel good for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I can't wait to report back on the next 100 days because it's going to be epic. And I really want to be able to take a lot of you guys along on the journey. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so damn much. Oh, what is this? Somebody already has a group. Oh, yeah. That's if you already have a group, we'll just show you how to supercharge it. Yeah? Okay, cool. And if you catch this after the fact, right, when it's no longer live and you like this idea about the membership to learn about groups, make sure you tag me. Don't just answer in here, but tag me and tell me you want to learn more. Tag me. At me, bro. All right. Make sure that you know that I've heard your request for more information. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Talk soon.